So I was just on the morning news. One of their segments used pieces out of one of my videos on my channel. And that's cool, but they made me look like a quack. They made me look like a conspiracy theorist. And here's how. I'm going to explain it, and it's not really that big a deal to me. Okay, fine, I accept that. But it brought into the bigger picture where your news comes from matters. And we're going to get deep into this for a minute here. But I just want to explain my real life story, and then we'll lead into the articles that I have pulled up for you about media bias and why getting your sources from different places matters. So I did a story on a light that was doing some funky stuff. I was educated about some of the technology that made the light happen. It was good. But in the video, I said, jokingly, do we live in the Matrix? Do I need to call Neo? Or am I in a computer simulation and you guys are all NPCs and I can be in Hawaii and snap my fingers? And it was joking, and you can tell it was joking. And at the end of that sentence, I said, no, obviously not. The most logical explanation is something with the computer, and yes, it was. It just so happened to be a signal that the emergency vehicles can send to change the light to green in short term without changing the opposing lights. Well, they took it, and if you just watched their video, you'd think I was a kook who said, I think we live in the Matrix. I think we live in the Matrix. Okay, no big deal. It would have been nice to get a plug in the video, by the way, for the channel. I mean, it really would have, but okay, I accept that. But media bias, what is it? Well, we have here a little bit more of a complicated chart on your screen here. If you really, really want to get into it, it's I found it through Market Watch. It's a bit more complicated, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, the further left, you got the most extreme. To the further right, you've got the most extreme. A good one to use, though, is All Sides. And they have a really good, simple chart. Left kind of leans left, center leans right, and right. But here's a real gem for you. Things like this. This is from Student News Daily, and this is an archive of all the times that the news has been biased and examples of it. Not all the times, but really good examples. So here's one. When news isn't worth reporting. You see, you have half of America believing one thing and another half of America believing another thing, depending on what news they watch. So this is really crazy. I'll read it and then I'll explain it, because the way they frame it is a little bit weird to understand, but we'll get it. So the United States has the world's highest rate of children in detention. Is this worth reporting? Yes. In my opinion, anyways. Maybe, maybe not. Nevertheless, agents France Press, or AFP, and Reuters did not report it in November 2019, attributing the information to a United Nations study on migrant children detained at the U.S.-Mexico border. Now here's the kicker. The two agencies retracted the story, deleted, withdrew, and demolished sheepishly. The two news organizations explained that, you see, the UN data was from 2015, part of a border crackdown that had begun years earlier. Yes. So this report of the United States incarcerating more children than any other nation was from 2015, and they were trying to do the story in 2019 and attribute it to Trump. But who was the president in 2015? It wasn't Trump, was it? Let's think for a minute. Who possibly could have been the president in 2015? Well, that would be Barack Obama. Well, that makes Barack Obama look bad, so the story was removed, deleted, and taken out. And as it says here, it was not updated or corrected. It was just removed, plainly deleted, just gone, didn't exist. And then you have this one here. This one has been one that people have touted for a while. It is interesting when you go online and there are people who are like, the economy sucks, the economy is the worst it's ever been. What are you talking about? The economy is great. Unemployment is down. Yes, there's slowed job growth, but unemployment is down. There's expected slowed job growth. You're valuable right now. Employees are valuable. Companies are competing for employees. It's a good time to be an employee right now and get work and work. The analysis found that from September 24th, 2019 to January 1st, 2020, out of 1,089 total minutes, ABC, CBS, and NBC gave this. Out of 1,098 total minutes, 9 minutes to the booming economy. Any news on Trump's economy, including his trade negotiations, only accounted for 0.8%, less than 1% of coverage across 100 days. What's the rest of it? Exactly what you would think, the impeachment in Ukraine. Like, who saw that coming? Everybody. But you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Depending on where you get your news, it kind of frames your narrative in the way you think. And everything is really joined in together, all right? It really is. You let one go and the whole ship sinks. Freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, right? And unbiased news, they all go hand in hand. You let one go and the whole frickin' ship goes by the wayside. So get your news from a bunch of different sources. I was just blown away with how the narrative went this morning on a news station using my footage, but then only wording it in ways that made me sound like a complete quack. Like I thought we really lived in the Matrix when I was joking that we lived in the Matrix. And it brought about this, you know, where people get their news matters. So get your news from multiple sources, people, please. Half the country thinks the economy is horrible. What? What? What are you talking about? No, the Democrats are going to have to shy away from topics of the economy this year. They're just going to have to. They're going to have to shy away from impeachment because Americans are getting impeachment fatigue. In fact, what was it? CBS? CBS isn't even covering impeachment anymore. Ratings are down. Nobody wants to watch it. We're done. We're fed up. We're over it. Anyways, those are my thoughts and my opinions, and let me know if you guys are interested in seeing the link to local news broadcasts that used some of my channel and didn't give me any credit. They didn't give me a plug in the video, which we know everybody watches the video. Nobody reads the description on the news site, but they did give the channel a plug on the description. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, and these biased opinions, they're just like a pet peeve of mine. Just look at the world from a realistic perspective, people. As I don't have my mic plugged in, so I don't know if the audio is going to be okay on this. But I guess we're going to see.